demonstrate how you could use a text analysis tool to start to reveal characteristics of a text before and during reading it. So to do all that, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need digital text, and you're going to need the tool. One place to start for a lot of digital text is Project Gutenberg, which is this amazing resource, as it says here, of a library of over 60,000 free ebooks. And these will be things that are in the public domain. So Alice in Wonderland, the Canterbury Tales, there's lots of stuff. Shakespeare as well will be here easily, as well as many other things. And we're going to need a tool, and the tool we're going to use is Voyant-Tools. And I've put the links to both places in the description of the video. So here, what I've already done is search for Alice in Wonderland, and I have it here. So this is a text-only version of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. And so let's look at the entire thing first. So we can do this a number of ways. We can select all of it and paste it into Voyant-Tools. We could download it as a text TXT file and upload it into Voyant-Tools, or we could just give them the URL. Let's give them the URL. So I grab the URL, I go to Voyant-Tools, I paste in the URL, and I click on Reveal. And so what it's doing is it's importing that text, and then giving it, you'll see it'll give me lots of things. So there's lots of tools, but the ones that you're displayed on by default include. So here's in the middle pane, here's the text. And so you can see what it is you're working on, and you can search for things. On the left gives you a word cloud, and you can see that the words Alice said are used way more frequently than everything else in the text, and that might be interesting as you're beginning to explore it. On the right here are the 5 most commonly used terms and how they flow through the book. So Alice is used some at the beginning of the book. By the way, these are not chapters, it just divides it evenly into tenths. We'll talk about chapters in a moment. So we can see that Alice is mentioned some, then a lot more, and then ultimately not at all towards the end of the book, and that's interesting. Said is used a little bit, then it parallels with Alice, and then it decreases, and then it kind of parallels Alice's thing. So there's something about Alice and said that suggests something in there. It certainly suggests she's a main character. It suggests that her major action seems to be talking, which might be interesting to students. So that's just kind of a beginning thing. You can search for terms here. You can search for let's see, the Mad Hatter. And so it tells me how many times certain things are used, and you'll see that these add up. So what is good to use is this Hatter with the asterisk. So it means Hatter, Hatters, Hatter possessive, all. I'll capture all of them. So when I click on that, I see the flow of that. So the Mad Hatter doesn't seem to appear until halfway through the book, and then has 2 major periods halfway through the book, and then again about 85% through the book. And so that could be interesting, right, as I see the presence of the character in that text. Okay, so that's kind of a basic demonstration of that. Another cool tool is this Termsbury thing. So when I click on that, what I see is every term, and then when I mouse over it, I see the words that it's connected to. So you can see that Alice is clearly primary. She is that word is connected to, off the top of my head, 75% of the other words. So it's not just that she's the main character, but this is a representation of why we would consider her a main character. Okay. She's connected to Dormouse and Moment and Queen and Rabbit, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now we hover over the word said, and we see different levels of how those things are connected, and the different colors indicate various things. Okay, so lots of exploring to do there. One other tool that I really like is this links tool. So this creates what's called word collocations, and that means it shows by default the top three words and the words that they're connected to. So this allows for a little more granularity, and I can change that. I kind of like to use 7 because it gives me a little more depth. So now I can see, all right, well, suddenly, so there's Alice, and what this shows is, so whereas this version shows connections, this shows the depth of the connections, meaning the thicker the line, the more intensive the connection. So for example, Allison said is this big fat gray bar. Alice looked, Allison King, Alice Little, Alice Turtle, Alice Thought are all kind of the same level. And so while here I see the connections, here I have a much more granular version of it. Okay, so there's lots and lots more to do. But if this is at all interesting to you, let's set up some time and walk through that. I hope this is useful. Thanks.